And then on to our third question, I guess. Then is I remember in our previous phone call as well, you mentioned how back when you were younger, you used to think you knew everything, but as you grew older, your view changed. Could you talk about that?
Yeah, well, I'm speaking of myself personally.
Mm-hmm.
I know everybody's different.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I remember, decades ago,
Mm-hmm.
when I was younger, a teenager, early 20s, I thought I knew a lot. I thought I thought I was very streetwise and somewhat formal education and life-wise and experience-wise, and thought, hey, I know some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But as I got older and the years rolled by, I came to realize that I didn't know much at all. I'm still learning, so I wouldn't, if I could do it over again, I certainly would say, I don't know anything. I don't know. Well, as a young person, you get older and you have these experiences and you realize that life can be very different.
Yeah.
There's changes, and you grow up and you mature, and you have better understanding of things. You learn to be patient, and try to be patient and do the right thing. But when you're young, you're kind of wild and take some wild chances. Not everyone. I'm not, I'm talking about myself,
Yeah.
But there's probably a few others like me out there.
Yeah, definitely.
But anyway, so that all changed as I got older.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely seen that too with like a lot of people my age. We kind of have the notion that we're indestructible and we can just do whatever, we know everything. And I've seen from my experiences as well, like from my parents, like telling me stories about how, when you're young, you might think you know everything, but you realize soon that that's very much not the case. So
exactly. Well, exactly. That is the truth.
Yeah.
But you can't change human nature growing up. So I heard somebody say it's too bad we're not born when we're 80 years old and go backwards.
Yeah.
But that's not the way it works.
Yeah.
You live and learn and experience and grow.
Yeah.
As life goes on.
I mean, I guess making mistakes is part of the fun too, I guess, growing up, and I guess it's part of the process, and
Yeah, now you mentioned making mistakes. That makes me think of something I wanted to say.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
Forgiveness. I think forgiveness is very important. To be able to forgive and to be forgiven. We all make mistakes, and if we're truly sorry, we should be forgiven, and we should forgive others that make little mistakes.
Yeah.
It's just the best way to go. It lightens the load for everyone,
Yeah.
And forgiveness is a great blessing, I think, in the human race, that people would exercise it.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad you said that, by the way, because I feel like, especially with teenagers my age, there's this stereotype that, like, us teens, we hold a grudge for life. If someone wrongs you, we're never going to forgive. And often in TV shows or movies, that seems to be prevalent. But I totally agree with your message. I think forgiveness is a virtue that we could all learn to practice more often. But
yes, it's a good thing. It's all good, like they said. It's very good. And you don't want to hold grudges if you can. It just doesn't do any good. We are who we are. People are different. You accept them.
Right.
And you don't want to hurt anybody, but just accept that people are different.
Definitely,
people change for the better, There's always hope. Hope is another good thing. Where there's hope in the world.
Yeah.
I've seen it. You have to have it, and maybe pray for it sometimes. But things change for the better. You get surprises. Good things happen. There's good people out there, good friends. Another thing I want to say about friends is, and I read this, and a lot of people know it, but I read that in order to have a friend, you have to be a friend.
Yeah.
So, very simply put, I think that's some wisdom right there.
Yeah, and it makes a lot of sense too if you think about it, for sure. Anyway, so moving on to our final question is, I heard that you wanted to talk about your experiences with perseverance, and you had some stories on that.
Yeah, they're good stories. They're little things, little stories, but one is I found somebody's car that was stolen.
Wow.
A friend at work, Joey, good friends, and she called me, Kevin, my car's been stolen. I had it parked right in front of my house, and it's gone. I called the police, reported it. So, oh, gee, it's terrible. So I came over to talk to her and console her. I said, let's go out and look for it. So she says, oh, we'll do whatever we can. Yeah, so we got in the car and drove around in circles, you know. One block got wider circle, went around for about 15 or 20 minutes. Didn't seem that long, and she was giving up. She goes, it's not here. I thought about it. I said, look, it's either in Mexico or somebody. She lived on a hill, and somebody might have walked by and got it. I guess she left the door unlocked, and there was a key in the ashtray. But so it was either one of those two things. If it's in Mexico, it's gone. If someone walked by and took it, maybe they just took it for a joyride, and it's in the area. So I didn't know, but after looking for 20 minutes or so, she wanted to give up and go back home, but she said she wanted to get me some tamales at this really good place. So we stopped by there and got some tamales, and I fixed them. And I said, well, yeah, I'm going to head home. But I said on the way home, I'll down the block as I go, and I'll call you later. Well, I decided, you know what, I'm just going to keep looking. I just felt I've got to keep looking. So I thought maybe someone took it for a joyride and parked it in a Safeway parking lot. So I went down there and checked every car there. Nope, it's not in there. I checked these other parking lots. And I said, well, I guess it's probably in Mexico. I said, I'm going to go, this is the absolute truth. I'm going to go one more street, and that's it, and then I'm going home. This was like after another extra half hour of looking.
Right.
And it was Virginia Street, a side street, a narrow street. It goes up a hill in the Mission. And there was these big trees with a lot of leaves all over the place. And lo and behold, there it was parked in the corner.
Wow.
I could not believe it. I looked, and I got closer and looked. I go, my God, is that her car? I called her on the phone. Is this your license plate? Is there a little dent in the back? She goes, come and get me. So I went and got her, and sure enough, it was her car.
Yeah.
And we called the police and waited an hour for them to come and clear the report and stuff. But, the whole point is I just kept looking.
Right,
the cop
yeah.
said I got lucky, and I did get lucky. But I just kept looking. I kept looking and looking and looking and looking, and I think that's part of the reason why I found it. I didn't give up real soon. I was going to give up eventually, in the next few minutes. I was going to give up, but I think because I just kept looking, I found it. And it was pretty amazing, to find somebody's stolen car. I think it's amazing. Maybe it happens. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then another brief story. I was in a junkyard once in Windsor looking for a part for my old car. It's a latch on a strap handle for the door. You can't buy it aftermarket. The car is 35 years old. And I looked through every car in the General Motors area. They had a few Rivieras, which I had, and I couldn't find it. I gave up 45 minutes, and I'm walking out, and I see this old station wagon. I didn't even know if it was a GM. The big old station wagon, nothing like my car at all, but I think it might have been General Motors. And I said, well, I'm just going to look in this. And I was leaving. And I tried to open the door to see, because the windows were all this dust and dirt from the junkyard. And the door was jammed. I couldn't open it. So then I started rubbing some of the dust and dirt off the window. And I could see through from the passenger to the driver's side. And the sunlight came through a crack right at that time, right at that moment. The sun was shining through some crack of light. And here it was, this piece I needed, like hanging in midair. It had a chrome piece on it, and and the sun was glinting off of it. And I couldn't believe it. My jaw dropped, and I just kept looking at it for 30 seconds. I go, my God, that's it. I can't believe this. And usually it's attached, and you have to unbolt it and do all this stuff, but I guess the previous person took something off the door, didn't need that part, and he left it hanging, and the sun was shining on it in midair. And I thought, this is spooky. This is crazy. So I put it on my car, and it's worked ever since. But the point is, again, persistence. I just kind of kept looking.
Definitely.
I kept looking and looking and looking, and I found one.
Wow.
And those are a couple of stories that impressed me.
Yeah.
You know, don't give up. Just keep at it. If you want something, go for it. You know, it might hit some stumbling blocks, but go for it. Go after it. And you might be surprised. So those are some of the stories I wanted to relate. Now, the little joke I wanted to tell was...
Oh, right. Yeah.
This is a little joke of wisdom. And maybe a lot of people have heard it, maybe they haven't, but the joke goes, how many psychiatrists does it take to change a light bulb? And some people guess, 1, 2, 4.
No idea.
The answer is none. It has to change itself.
Oh, I get it, yeah.
So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But it's a fun joke. But again, I appreciate this opportunity to...
Oh, yeah. Thank you for coming on.
...to experiences in my life, you know. Appreciate it. I wish everyone a very happy Thanksgiving, and if it's afterwards, happy. Always give thanks any day of the year. We have so many blessings. This great country, and friends, and family, and troubles. Work through them. You know?
Yeah.
It's all good.
Awesome. Well, yeah, to all our viewers, and thank you for watching today's episode. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you would like to join me in one of these conversations, send an email at talktogap@gmail.com. Thank you, viewers, and thank you, Kevin. See you all next time.
Thank you, June.
Thank you
very much.